Good morning. Many people don't know that tools like astrology, palm reading, things like that are actually part of the Ayurvedic system. Sometimes they think of it as a separate kind of system, but all of these systems are meant to support us in our journey in this world. In fact, in the Vedic system from India, Ayurveda, coming from that, it's considered that astrology is considered the greatest science. And Ayurveda is extremely steeped in all kinds of science, actually. Ayurveda was included the first recorded surgery. So anyway, astrology can be very powerful. And one little story is I got a Vedic astrology reading a few years ago when I was just a week before I was going to visit my son in Panama. And the astrologer, amazing astrologer, Jade Luna, said to me, well, you're going to have a very stressful week in about a week, and it's going to involve feeling critical of those that are close to you and maybe a lost object. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to Panama to see my son. Not a good thing. I'm going to lose something and feel critical of my son or something like that. Sure enough, when I got there, I found out that my son had lost, we were supposed to spend some time in the jungle. My son had lost his passport. And my, ordinary paternal reaction might have been being critical or judgmental, like, what did you do? How did you do that? But due to that warning, and in fact, I had asked him, sometimes when you're critical, you really need to speak about it, sometimes you don't. And he said, well, whoever it is that you're feeling critical of is going to really get the lesson in 2 weeks. So sure enough, my son and I got his passport back. It was quite an experience. With that information, I kept a cooler head and I was able just to really trust. And sure enough, my son totally got the message and the learning, of things like really, watching your passport when you're traveling. And it was such a gift for me to have that information before I went. It was so helpful. I know some people sort of have an aversion to astrology, thinking that it's in place of one's spirituality or one's connection to God or the divine. But I see the laws of astrology reflecting the divine laws of nature, the divine laws of the universe, and sort of the amazingness of the creation and the creator of everything, rather than it taking away. So Vedic astrology is very powerful. I have a dear friend who's a palm reader, one of the best on the planet. And he explains how the lines on the hands basically reflect the consciousness of the living being. And there's so much information that's there. So these are those deeper sciences that a lot of people don't have, or they tend to have a superficial understanding of. But they can be used very effectively also in identifying health issues, life purpose, things like that. So I just want to touch on that.